Something about my village looks strange every autumn. Every roof, every balcony seems to disappear beneath them. And every year, my grandmother fills our home with this sea of red. But there is a reason we do it, and it has nothing to do with decoration. Because in our village, a roof can do something a refrigerator cannot. Because for my family, the whole roof is our refrigerator. My name is Pema. This is my grandmother, Sonam. She has dried chilies on this very roof since she was even younger than I am now. Every autumn, our whole village does the same thing. We dry chilies. Not because we love how beautiful all that red looks, but because this is how our families survive the winter. My grandmother once told me something I could hardly believe. Chili wasn't even originally grown in our country. It came from somewhere else. But today, Bhutanese people don't think of chili as just a spice. Here, we treat it almost like a vegetable. And my grandmother always says, a meal without chili hardly feels like a meal at all. Winter here is completely different. Snow covers the mountains, and fresh vegetables almost disappear from the whole region. My grandmother says that long ago, if families didn't know how to keep food for a long time, they could go hungry through the winter. So, generations ago, people found a simple way. They dried chilies on their rooftops, where sunlight reaches the house, and mountain air keeps moving through them. No electricity, no refrigerator, just sunlight, dry air, and the mountain wind. And Grandma always tells me one more thing. When the cold becomes almost unbearable, eating something spicy helps bring warmth back into your body. Grandma has another little secret that very few people know. Some chilies aren't dried in the usual way. First, she briefly dips the fresh green chilies into boiling water. Then, she takes them out and lets the mountain sun do the rest. And something beautiful happens. As they dry, the chilies slowly change from green into a soft, creamy white. Grandma says these white chilies are gentler in flavor, but they can still be kept for a long time, just like the red ones. It always amazes me how something so simple can turn into such a clever way of preserving food. But for Grandma, chilies are not only something we eat. Whenever someone in the house becomes sick, or Grandma feels that something isn't quite right, she burns a few dried chilies in the kitchen. She says the smoke carries the bad things away from our home. When I was little, I thought it was just something Grandma did. But she always tells me that some traditions are not only about what we can see. They are about what our grandparents believed, remembered, and passed down. And whenever Grandma looks at those bright red chilies, she says something I never forget. Red like the blood that keeps us alive, so we should always be grateful for it. Grandma learned all of this from her own grandmother, and one day I hope I can pass it on to my children too, because I think that is how a people keeps its warmth alive, not only in the body, but in the memories we carry. The chilies on our roof are more than food. They remind us of the winters our family survived, the hands that taught us, and the stories we promised not to forget. So whenever I sit here with Grandma, looking at the mountains, I feel like a little piece of our past is sitting beside me. And maybe one day I'll pass that warmth on too.